So yeah, as I said, you can lie down or you can sit, just making sure you're comfortable. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. And let the exhales be like a big sigh. And do that again. Big breath. This time, hold the breath for a few seconds. And let it out just noisily. And from here, let's allow the breath to breathe by itself. Notice how the breath might become a little quieter, shallower. Begin to notice any places that you can easily soften a bit more, maybe your shoulders or your neck or your belly. Your jaw, your tongue, your lips. Becoming aware of the places that you're pressing down. So notice where the weight is supported. And feel like you could actually lean into that support. Just let yourself drop down a little more. And then let your attention be drawn by any physical sensations that are trying to talk to you right now. So maybe it could be just the movement of breath, and maybe the weight pressing down. Or maybe there's a sensation. You don't even have to know what to call it. Just let your body draw your attention inward. And if you like, you could add the mantra so hum to your breath. So as you inhale, you can replace any mental dialogue with the word internally, so, as you inhale, and hum as you exhale. Think of it as an eraser for your internal dialogue. So you just replace whatever blabbing away is happening inside your head with so hum. Inhaling so, exhaling hum. Let your body draw you back into the present moment through sensation. Remaining aware of the breath, of any sounds you hear, or smells. And bring your attention gently to the breath. You can slightly deepen the breath, gradually deepening your breath. Breathing into the belly, maybe even imagining breathing down into your pelvis as you inhale. And exhaling slowly, imagine the breath drawing up the spine and out through the crown of your head. If Ujjayi is part of your practice, you can add that here now, just a soft, silky whisper. as if you were caressing the breath as it comes in and goes out. You can start to move your fingers and your toes and blink your eyes open when you're ready. If you're sitting up, you can stay seated or maybe change the cross of your legs. If you've been sitting for a while with your legs crossed, you can change that. Or if you're lying down, come to seated for a moment. We'll begin with a few sun salutations, seated sun salutations. So just sit up for a moment and move your head around in an organic way. You can move the hands and the wrists around. And then let's bring the palms together in front of the heart. And I'm going to glue my thumbs to my sternum bone and then start to twist to the right. So turn as if you're turning from your palms. So your palms are bringing your sternum bone around the corner, and keep your chin level with the floor and your head looking straight forward, like with respect to your fingers. So your hands. So you're turning your whole body. And then when you kind of get to the place where it doesn't go anymore, keeping your chin level with the floor, turn your head and look over your right shoulder until your head meets resistance. Don't press really too much into that. Just kind of notice it, and then turn your eyes into the corner to complete the circle, complete the twist. Take a big, deep breath into all of the tightness there, all the available space. Let out a sigh, like you're sighing from all of that stuff. And then we'll inhale back to center, smoothly bringing everything back. And then as we twist to the left, just follow the hands to make the twist first until you kind of stop. And then you keep your chin level with the floor as you turn your head until it meets resistance. And then complete the twist with your eyes looking into the left corner. Take a big, deep breath into all of the space. And exhaling like you're sighing out all the tightness that's there. We'll inhale back to center. And release. Let's just move the hands, the wrists around, and then we'll inhale the arms up. And exhale, lean over to the left. You can arc your arms to the side and look past your elbow. Inhale back up. And we'll exhale, lean to the right, looking past the elbow, not to the hand. Inhale up, and then we'll exhale and fold forward. You can spider crawl your fingers forward. I guess I should back up to this one. And then with the inhale, keep your hands where they are, but lift your gaze to look forward or maybe up a little bit. And then exhale and release. Then you can walk your hands back behind you. And then shrug your shoulders back, squeeze your shoulder blades, lift your chest, inhale, look up. And exhale, let's release. And then we'll take if you're on a lift, just move it off to the side. And we'll come to seated position, like so, lengthwise on your mat. We're going to come down, rounding down. So you can have your knees bent and your heels sort of digging in. You can tuck your chin and start to slowly round down. See if you can come down without losing it. See if you can come down very, very slowly. Usually we get to one point and kind of, that's it. Once you're down, you can lie back and hug your knees in and start to rock a little bit. You can glue your knees together and start to make circles in the air with your knees. And then make circles in the opposite direction. And then let's separate the knees and make circles together and away. You're stirring your hips. It's kind of like you're checking out the easy range of motion. So don't force it, just see what's easy there and then reverse the direction. Good. Then let's take a big full body stretch. Stretch your legs out, your arms up, and you can wriggle and wiggle and maybe yawn if you can see, you can get yourself to yawn. And then we'll take a little side bend on the floor. So walk your heels, keep your legs stretched out along the mat, walk your heels over to the right. So your legs are still straight. And then you're keeping your pelvis in place, lean your upper body to the right also. So you're in a C-curve line, flat on the floor, both shoulder blades down. You can reach up and grab your left wrist with your right hand. And some people might cross the left ankle over the right ankle.
And just take a big deep breath into all the spaces between your ribs, your left armpit, your left side waist, maybe even your outer hip. And as you exhale, imagine it's like a big sigh, like you could sigh from your hip or from your ribs. And then we'll come back through center and go to the other side. So try to keep both shoulder blades down as you lean over. So the legs are stretched out, the heels walk over to the left. You can wiggle your head and your upper back to the left. Grab your right wrist with your left hand, cross your right ankle over your left. And then breathe into the sensation wherever you feel it. Breathe right up into it. Imagine you can even breathe into your leg or hip or wherever. And the exhaling is like a big sigh and a release. And then we'll come back to center. Let's bend the knees now and take the knees into a 90-degree angle. You can stack your knees over your hips. Interlace your fingers behind the back of your head. And we'll get into some yoga bicycles here. So to prepare, take a big breath in. And with the exhale, straighten your right leg and take your right elbow to your left knee. And see if you can keep the knee where it is. Is this pulling towards you? And then coming back. And then you straighten the left leg and reach your left elbow across. And just going back and forth. We'll go for 1 minute. Just go at your own pace. You can take breaks. If you feel like you need a break, you could go fast or you could go slow. You could try a little bit of each. Notice if you can stay with your breath, keep your breath moving steadily. It's going to be a little more vigorous breath. Notice if you're clenching your jaw and soften your forehead here. Try to really be particular about where you're using the energy. So obviously lots of core and all that, but your jaw can't really help you here. We'll go for 5 more seconds. And then lie back and hug your knees in to your chest and rock a little bit. Then let's separate the knees just a bit, like to hips width. You can hold your kneecaps with your hands. And then straighten your arms to take a big belly breath. And with the exhale, pull your knees and squish out the air. Inhale, straighten your arms, big belly breath. And exhale, squish it out. One more like that. Big belly breath in and out. And then we'll switch the hands to the back of the knees, and you can swing your heels and rock along your spine. Now, for some people, if you have a long tailbone, this might not be appropriate, so you could just simply roll to your side and come up. We're going to come up to standing, so I'll leave to you to decide how you want to come up. You can rock and up to seated and come to standing, or if you can get up enough momentum, maybe swing your heels and come all the way up to standing. Now let's come to the top of the mat. Let's start with the feet hips width. We'll just begin. Inhale the arms up. And exhale, just swing your arms back to your sides and drop your chin gently. Inhale, press down through your feet, lift up through the arms, maybe lift up the gaze. Once more, exhale, swing the arms to the side. One more time, inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold with your breath. Ride your exhale smoothly down into a forward fold. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step your right leg back. Let's take the right knee down. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, hands down. Let's curl the back toes and step into downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest, and chin. Drop your pelvis. You can loop your shoulders and come into low cobra, inhaling. And exhale, back to downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg up. Exhale, step it forward. 2, 3, 4. Spring off your back toes to step all the way forward and look up halfway. Hands to your knees. Exhale, fold. Coming up with the inhale. 2, 3. Exhale and fold. 2, 3. Halfway lift. Inhaling. Exhale, plant your hands left leg back, left knee down. Coming up with the inhale. 2,
3, and release, hands down, curl your back toes under, downward facing dog. Inhale. Out. Rolling forward to plank with the inhale. Lowering knees, chest and chin with the exhale. Drop the pelvis, inhale into cobra, loop your shoulders, pull back with the hands. Exhaling to downward facing dog. Left leg on the inhale. Step forward with the exhale, and then spring off your back toes to step both feet forward, looking up halfway on the inhale, hands to knees or to upper shins. Exhale, folding. Coming up with the inhale. Exhale, release to Tadasana. Let's actually walk the feet together for a moment. Bring the feet together, bring the palms together in front of the heart, and you can close your eyes and take a moment to notice your heartbeat, notice your breath. Inhale, out. Deep inhale. As you exhale, open your eyes, release your hands, turn your palms. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, folding. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step the right leg back, take the knee down. Inhale, the arms up. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Plant your hands, curl your toes under. Inhale to plank. Exhale, knees, chest and chin. Drop your pelvis. Inhale, loop your shoulders, ground your front hip bones as you keep peeling your chest up. Exhaling to downward facing dog. Let's inhale the right leg up. Exhale, step it forward into a lunge. And then we'll come up to a high lunge with the inhale. 2, 3. Sweep your arms back as you exhale, folding forward. Inhaling up. And exhale, hands back. Inhaling up. Exhale, hands back. Come up one more time with the inhale, and this time with the exhale, we're going to twist to the right. So exhaling, twisting to the right, arms wide. Inhaling back, 2, 3. Same thing, exhale, twist to the right, same side, 2, 3. Moving slowly, see if you can move with the breath. Inhaling back, 3, 4. Exhale into the twist, and then just turn your gaze to look forward and place your left hand on the inside of your right foot, and you can twist to the right. Inhale deeply here. Your arm can be up, or you could just rest your arm down, exhaling. In, out. Let's take one more big breath in. With the exhale, bring your hands down. You can spring off your back toes to step forward and halfway lift on the inhale. Exhale, fold. And let's come up with the inhale. In, 2, 3. Follow the breath back down. Exhale, folding. Halfway lift on the inhale. Exhale, left leg back, left knee down. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, hands down, downward facing dog. Curl your toes under, step back. Inhale to plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Ground your pelvis. Inhale, loop your shoulders into cobra. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Left leg on the inhale, 2, 3. Exhale, lunge it forward. And then with the inhale, we come up into a high lunge. And then moving with the breath, exhale the arms back, you're folding forward. Maybe your left ribs come in contact with your thigh. Inhale, coming up. And out. And in. And out. Let's come up again with the inhale. And this time as we exhale, twist to the left. 2, 3. Inhaling back. And exhale, twisting to the left. Inhale and out. Staying in the twist, just turn your head to look forward. You can place your right hand down and stay in the twist. You can keep your arms wide, or if your shoulder likes it better, you can rest your hands down. Inhale deeply and out. Let's take one more deep inhale here. Exhale, you can look down, spring off your back toes to step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhaling all the way up. And let's release to Tadasana. Take a moment, close your eyes and catch your breath. Exhale. Inhale the arms up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. This time, exhale, plant your hands and step to plank. And notice which foot you lead with instinctively. Holding your plank, inhaling, looking forward and down a little bit in front of your mat. So your spine is in Tadasana. Inhale into the space between your shoulder blades. Try to lift that space up. Exhale, pressing your armpits down through the baby fingers, grounding the index fingers, deep breaths. Let's inhale together here, and then lowering with the exhale, either knees down before, or if you want to take chaturanga, you can press off your toes, bend your elbows, and lower almost all the way down. Inhaling into up dog or cobra like we did before. Exhale into downward facing dog. Let's just hold this down dog for a few breaths. If you want to bicycle it out, you can move your head around, be a wiggly dog here. And let's just settle in for 2 more breaths together. Inhale, out. Deep inhale. Exhale, let's tippy toe the feet to the hands. And with the inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, folding. Inhale, coming all the way up. And let's go right back down with the exhale. Just follow the breath. Halfway lift on the inhale. Use your other foot. If you remember which one you did, step back to plank, using your other foot. Holding your plank, inhaling, looking forward and down. Exhaling, lower, either knees down or press off your toes and take chaturanga. Inhaling to your back bend. And exhaling into downward facing dog. Let's inhale in down dog. And exhale. Now, let's take turbo dog. You can bend your elbows part way to the floor and then squeeze them towards each other like you're trying to hold something between your elbows. And just breathe. Notice if your jaw is trying to help out. See if you can separate the effort. And then go ahead and straighten your arms for a moment. And then we'll come back into turbo dog. So bending your elbows maybe halfway to the floor. You could think about lowering them down all the way. So the next thing we're going to do is to take dolphin. So you can either release your knees first, or some people might lower both elbows down one at a time or together, coming into dolphin pose. You can keep your hands separated, or you can interlace your fingers, but keep your elbows shoulder width. Keep your elbows shoulder width, pressing down through your armpits. Some people might just find this really difficult and you need to take a break. You could bring your knees down if you want to rest, maybe doing intervals, or you could try lifting one leg up at a time. If you want to go the other way, work a little harder. You could lift your leg up for a few breaths and then switch. And when you feel like you're ready to take a little break, you can gently lower your knees down and take child's pose. So either knees together or knees wide. Your hands can be forward, or if your knees are together, maybe the arms go back. So take your most nourishing child's pose for a few breaths. And child's pose is a great opportunity to notice the back of the body with the breath. So as you inhale, really feel the spreading and lifting of the back. Imagine you could even breathe into your hips. Imagine you could feel your sacrum expanding with your inhale and sighing back out with the exhales. When you're ready, we'll meet up in downward facing dog. So coming up through tabletop, curl your toes under. We'll come back into downward facing dog. Let's inhale together in downward dog. Exhale all the air out, either tippy toe or hop to the top of your mat if that's something you do. Halfway lift on the inhale. Exhale, fold deeply. And then inhale, come all the way up. And let's exhale, releasing into Tadasana. Set up for Utkatasana. So you can have Utkatasana with your feet separated or together, it doesn't really matter. But as you bend your knees, you can start to sink your hips down. See if you can stick, like you're trying to lift your tail a little bit. So find your lumbar curve here at the same time as lifting the chest. So maybe the weight's back a little bit into the heels. Some people might need to take it forward. You can actually try rocking the weight back and forth a little bit to get the right balance. And then we'll take a big breath in together, maybe bringing the palms together and looking up, if that's something you like to do. With the exhale, straighten your legs and fold. And then we'll inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands, step back and lower into chaturanga or through knees, chest, and chin. Inhale, moving through your back bend. Exhaling to downward facing dog. Let's look back at the feet in downward dog now. So hopefully your feet are hips width. Let's pick your gaze on your left big toe and place your left heel there instead, turning the toes out ever so slightly. And with your right foot, step it all the way forward in its own track. So keeping the knee over the ankle, we're coming up into Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. You can interlace your fingers behind the back of your head, bring your elbows in, and then try to lift with your elbows. So you're leaning your head into your hands and lifting your heart to look up. Using your hands to keep the back of the neck long. You can keep them there or imagine that you have an extra pair of hands to keep there as you lengthen your arms up. Interlace your fingers and extend the index fingers. Coming into Ksepana Mudra. Imagine you could inhale through the soles of your feet and breathe out through your fingertips. Let's everybody do that again. Inhale through your soles of your feet and out. And we'll lift the back and you can separate your hands. Inhale and exhale, hands down. And we can add a vinyasa or just step to downward facing dog here. So if you want, you can lower and then inhale through a back bend. We'll meet up in downward facing dog. Have a look at your right big toe, place your right heel there, turning your toes out, your right toes out a little bit. Step your left foot forward in its own track. And then inhale coming up on the other side of Virabhadrasana. 1. You can interlace your fingers behind the back of your head. Pull your elbows in and lift from your elbows, leaning into your head or your head into your hands. And breathing. Keep your hands there or you can extend your arms. But keeping that feeling that you had a pair of hands that's keeping your neck long. We're not collapsing the neck, we're lengthening. Let's inhale together here. Through the feet. And out through the fingertips. And lift your back heel, separate your hands. Inhale. 3, 4, exhale, hands down. Again, you can step straight to down dog or add a vinyasa here if you like. Meeting up in downward facing dog. Let's everybody take a big deep breath in together. Exhale all the air out, step or hop forward. Top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, sink your hips. Inhaling Utkatasana. And we'll exhale up and over all in one breath. Up, 2,
fold, and halfway lift, inhaling. Exhale, plant your hands, step back and lower. Inhale to your back bend. And exhale, downward facing dog. Again, pivot your left heel, step your right foot forward. We'll come up into Virabhadrasana 1 once again. So just take a moment to notice that you're still in hips width alignment, your heels are hips width. You're going to square your ribs forward. The hips are kind of taking up the slack. My hips are kind of pointed at the left corner of the mat, but the ribs come forward, the knees over the ankle. It doesn't matter the angle of the thigh, but just have nice stability here. And then we'll inhale the arms up. And with the exhale, straighten your leg and swing your arms to your sides. In, bend the knee. It's like you're lifting something up in front of you, and then exhale, swimming back. Maybe the chin drops. Inhale, maybe the chin lifts. And out. Good. Let's go one more time. Inhale into warrior 1. This time, keep your knee bent. As you exhale, just bring your hands in front. Make fists. And then with the inhale, you're going to pull your elbows back, squeeze your shoulder blades, look up, and try and lift your upper chest. Exhale, round your upper back, just your upper back and your chin, dropping your chin like you're pushing a big rock. Inhale, pulling back, like you're pulling the rock back again. Exhale, push it away. Tucking the chin. Inhale. And out. 2, 3. Inhale back to warrior 1. Lift your back heel, separate your hands. And exhale. Hands down, either add vinyasa or take a break. You can hang out in down dog or flow through your vinyasa. We'll meet up in downward facing dog. When you're ready, you can pivot your right heel, step your left foot forward to set up Virabhadrasana 1 on the other side. Hips with heels, ribs squaring forward, hips doing whatever they have to do to make it work. So you can keep your outer right foot grounded down. Keep that back arch from collapsing too. And then we'll inhale the arms up. And then exhale, swim them to the side as you straighten the front leg. And in, 2, 3, out, 2, 3, 4. In. Bring your hand, keep your knee bent, bring your hands in front with the exhale, make fists. Breathe. And then inhale, pull back, squeeze your shoulder blades, look up, lifting your chest. Exhale, rounding, tucking your chin. Try to keep your pelvis stable, just not moving. Inhale, pull the rock back. Squeeze your shoulder blade. Exhale, push it away. One more time. In. And out. Inhale the arms up. Lift your back heel. And exhale, hands down. You can add a vinyasa here or go straight to down dog or take a break. And let's everybody take a moment to lower gently the knees down into any version of child's pose for a few moments. Allow yourself to rest your forehead down. When you're ready, coming up to down dog one more time. Let's inhale the right leg up when you're ready. Exhale, step it forward into a lunge and turn around. We'll drop the back heel down and in, keeping the right knee over the ankle. You can inhale up into warrior 2, facing the left side of your mat. And again, just noticing if you have the tendency to lean forward, or maybe you're overdoing you're leaning back. So see if you can get the feeling that you're just stacking, your spine's kind of in Tadasana, turned. Again, the ribs are doing the turning. We're keeping that back heel grounded. Then turn your gaze, just check out your front knee. Notice if your knee wants to follow the ribs. You can turn your ribs to the left, but your knee presses to the right. Then we'll turn the front palm up and come into the revolved warrior, exalted warrior. And let's look past the elbow, not to the hand. Look past your elbow towards the ceiling. And breathe deeply into the right side ribs. And out. Let's inhale one more deep breath into those side ribs. And then with the exhale, bring your elbow to your knee, or you can take the elbow to the inner knee, and then rotate your whole chest to the left. Your left arm can either just rest on your hip,
or you can sweep it past your ear, like you're leading with your baby finger. So you're externally rotating your arm. And then again, looking past the elbow or just to the side. Let's take one more big breath here. You can exhale, look down, reach back with your arm. Inhale back to warrior two. Turn your front palm. Coming back into the exalted warrior. This time, keep your upper body in the exalted warrior, but straighten your front leg. Big breath into your side ribs, and try to keep the length in your right side ribs as you exhale into Trikonasana. So try to come in by pulling your right hip back. You maybe only come partway down to start with. You can take the back of your right hand to your inner shin and see if you can slowly lower yourself breath by breath, just until you feel that you're mostly lengthening, turning your heart. The gaze can look to the side or towards up, but keep your back of your neck long. Let's inhale deeply together here. Exhale, you can look down, bring your hands to the floor, lift your back heel, either out of Vinyasa here, or you can just step into down dog and hang out for a couple of breaths. Let's lift the left leg up on the inhale. Exhale, step it forward into a lunge. And around again. And we'll drop the back heel down and in and come up. Warrior two facing the right side of the mat this time. Again, noticing that your ribs are turning to the side, but if your knee wants to follow the ribs, you're pulling the ribs back, pressing the knee the other way. Noticing also if you're leaning forward or back, so if you can balance all of that. Shoulders, if they're lifting, you might relax them down for a moment. Let's take one more big breath in here. And then with the exhale, you can turn your front palm up. And then inhale, the exalted warrior, arcing your spine. So you're sort of a side bendy twist, looking past the elbow. Deep breaths into all the spaces in the side ribs there. Take a mental snapshot for when we come into triangle pose to keep that length. Let's inhale one more time here. And then exhale, you can come into Parshvakonasana, elbow to the knee or to the inner knee, and then turn your ribs to the right now. The right arm can sweep past the ear, or you can just rest it on your hip. Deep inhale. Exhale, you can look down and reach back through your right arm and inhale yourself back into warrior two. Turn your front palm, exalted warrior one more time. Keep the exalted warrior in your upper body as you straighten your front leg. Big breath in, and then pull your left hip back to bring you into Trikonasana. Try to keep your left side ribs long, turning your chest. Imagine turning from your sternum bone like we did at the beginning. Inhale deeply. Let's exhale, look down, bring your hands to the floor, lift your back heel, either out of Vinyasa here, or you can just come into downward facing dog. Meeting up in downward facing dog, just go ahead and look forward. You can bring your hands together so that your thumbs are touching. And then either tippy toe your feet forward, or maybe some people will hop the feet around the hands, coming into a squat. So we're coming into Malasana prep. So for this one, we're actually trying to come up high to begin with so that the low back is trending towards a neutral spine here. It might be rounded a little bit. See if you can notice if at first you're just collapsing right away. Let's taste the back bend a little bit first. So maybe pressing the elbows into the knees. Try to bring your lower ribs forward, your belly forward. And if anybody wants to do Bakasana here, this is a chance to actually flex the spine. So you start to round forward, sliding your elbows down towards your ankles until your armpits, your knees come up by your armpits. And then your hands take the chaturanga sort of formation like so. And then maybe you're just taking the weight forward and playing with your balance. If you're feeling stable enough, maybe one foot comes off or the other foot comes off.
And we're again wrapping the shoulders. So it's like you're trying to spread the space between your shoulder blades wide. And then we'll just gently release back down, and you can plop yourself down, stretch your legs out. Let's take, just come into a comfortable seat with your legs stretched out in front, and we'll pedal the feet a little bit here. And then you can make ankle circles. Circles the other way. Let's pull your left foot back and spread the toes, and point your right foot and scrunch the toes. Cramp alert, don't do it too hard. If you haven't been doing this for a few days, you might need to take it easy. And then we'll switch the other way. So pointing and scrunching the left toes and pulling back and spreading the right. And then just go back and forth between those two, kind of flowing between them. Try to make it as smooth as possible. And then just shake it out. And then we'll mix it up a bit. So pull back, dorsiflex your left foot, but scrunch the toes. And you can plantar flex or point your right foot, but pull the toes back. So your right foot's in Barbie doll foot, although I think you probably wouldn't. Pretty wide Barbie shoes. And then we'll switch the feet. So you're pulling back and scrunching the right foot and pointing and spreading with the left. And then again, going back and forth. See if you can flow between them. Imagine a cat pawing its bed. So you're trying to get that pawing look. Trying to get your feet to flow. Pull the bones in your feet to let go a little bit here. And then just shake it up. And then let's take a seated twist. So let's take we'll do an open twist first. So take your, I'll come to face you. Let's bend the left knee and bring the heel in, and we'll take an open twist to start with. So bring your left elbow to your inner knee, and your right hand can just support you. So this is all happening at once. You're going to press your elbow into your knee into your elbow. You're stepping into the foot, and then the most important thing is you're sucking that right heel back as you make the twist. Like you're trying to pull the hip, your bum muscle's trying to pull your right hip back. You make the twist, and then just soften back for a moment. And just do that a few more times. Twisting. Elbow into knee, knee into elbow, stepping into the foot, releasing back down, sucking that right heel back, and then releasing. Keep your legs the way they are, but turn your whole body now to the other side. So you might want to lean back, maybe open the knee a little bit, get your belly and the ribs around the corner. And once you're deep in the twist, pull your knee back up to vertical and walk your left hand in close. Sit up nice and tall and breathe. You're either holding the knee, or you can wrap the elbow around the knee. Some people might get the elbow across the knee. And just breathe into all the available space. Another opportunity to check in with not just breath, but also checking in with your jaw, if your lips are pressed together, or your forehead crinkled. And then we'll release and just change sides. So you can stretch your legs out for a moment. Then bend your right knee. And we'll start with the open twist. So we're turning away from the knee to start with. Elbow into knee, foot into the floor, and we're sucking that left hip back. So really using your left glute to turn and then release. And turn, power on, and release. And then one more time. And release. Keep your legs the way they are as you turn your spine the other way. So now we're going into the closed twist. You might want to open your knee, maybe lean back a bit. But once you're in, pull everything up to vertical and breathe. Again, level your chin with the floor. Maybe even move your head around a little bit first. And then see if you can soften wherever possible. Notice what your tongue or your lips are doing. Forehead is smooth and relaxed. Let's deep breath in here. And out. And release the pose. And just stretch your legs out in front for a moment. And then we'll come into Navasana. So let's actually scoot forward a little bit and start like this. Bend your knees, interlace your fingers in front of your shins, and pull back. And to start with, let's draw the low back in. So it's like we're trying to find our neutral spine to start with, and then bring the weight back until you're just maybe floating the heels, but the spine is still in neutral. You can keep it like that, or maybe sneak your hands behind your knees. Maybe lifting, straightening one leg at a time. Or maybe both a little bit. You might fool around with hands free. Any of the variations that work. As long as you can keep your breath steady, your face relaxed. And then to come into Ardha Navasana, we'll round the back, tuck the chin first, and then round the back. Either you're balancing on your sacrum, so it's fairly high up, but the spine is definitely rounding or inflection. Or some people might bring it down a little bit lower and balance on the low back. From here, you can either release. I'm shaking, I haven't been doing this for a few days. You can interlace your fingers behind the back of your head if you want to hang up for a few more breaths. Or maybe you're already down in Upanasana, and when you're ready, lie back and just hug your knees in and rock a little bit from side to side. Let's keep the right knee in and stretch out the left leg. So go ahead and pull on your right knee, but just with the right amount of force so that the feeling is of a really excellent stretch. So that it's just the right volume of sensation. Imagine you could breathe your breath into the place of tightness or strong sensation. And your exhale is a sigh from your hip or wherever you feel the tightness, letting go. Let's straighten the right leg up toward the ceiling, interlace behind the thigh. You can pull with your hands, press your thigh bone into your hands, and really strongly dorsiflex the foot, so pulling the toes down towards the knee. Imagine now that your breath goes all the way up into your foot, up through the Achilles tendon into the plantar fascia, and exhaling from your feet, from your leg. Let's inhale one more time. And then with the exhale, sit up, bring your nose closer to your knee. You can slide your hands up closer to your foot and maybe float your left heel a few inches off the floor. Point your eyes at your right kneecap, but try to see as much of the room as possible without moving your eyes around. So use your peripheral vision to see as big a fuzzy screen as possible. Take a big breath into that, and then keep everything the same, but just gently let your left heel come to the floor. And now power down through your left heel and suck the leg back into the hip. So you feel the back chain kicking in on the left side. Take a big breath into all that, and then release by bending both knees and lying back. Switching sides, straightening out your right leg. You can pull your left knee into your chest with just the right amount of force so that the sensation is perfect volume here. You can feel it's just right. It feels like, oh, that's a good stretch. More wouldn't be good, less wouldn't be as good. Breathing into these places of sensation and sighing on behalf of all of that. And then we'll straighten the left leg, interlacing behind the back of the thigh. Thigh presses into hands, hands pull on the thigh, and we're strongly pulling the toes down so that the stretchiness goes all the way up into the heel, into the sole of the foot. Imagine your breath goes there too. Sigh from your foot, your leg, everything, hamstrings. Let's inhale together. And then with the exhale, you can sit up nose to knee and slide up. Your right heel's floating now a little bit. The eyes are pointed at the left kneecap, but they're seeing the whole room, as much of the room. Try to see the ceiling and the floor, both walls beside you. If there's other people in the room, maybe your cat's walking around or something. And then gently lower your right heel to the floor, press down into the heel and suck it back into the hip. So you can feel your hamstrings kick in, your right glutes kicking in. Deep breaths into all of that. And then we'll release by bending both knees and lying back. And you can just start to make circles with your knees again. kind of like we did at the beginning. Beginning to unwind. You can explore your range of motion without trying to expand it. Just check it out, claim it, claim what's there. And then we'll reverse the direction. And then let's take the feet to the floor. You can heel to toe as wide as your mat. Your arms can just go out to the sides. And then you can begin to gently windshield wiper your knees from side to side. And you can turn your head the opposite way that your knees are going. And then we'll come back to center. Let's take the feet about hips width, press down into your feet and slide your bum over to the left. So just shift your butt over to the left and let your knees drop over to the right. And then you can turn your spine to look over your left shoulder. Some people might have the knees stacked. Maybe you'll grab your outer left knee with your right hand. Or if that's too tight, maybe just let it be what it is. Find your perfect twist. If you have a favorite version, go ahead and switch to whatever you like, your supine twist. Breathing into the tightness. Sighing from all the tissues that are getting twisted. And then inhaling back to center. And so center your pelvis first and go a little further. Shift your butt over to the right, let your knees drop over to the left. And then you can spin your spine to look to the right as your hips twist to the left. And then inhaling back to center. You can center your pelvis and we'll set up for a bridge pose. You can bring your elbows in next to your lower ribs. Pretend you're holding a beach ball over your belly. Press your feet down, press your elbows down, lift your pelvis up like your belly is going up into the beach ball. You can stay like that in robot arms or interlace your fingers behind your back, rolling your shoulders up and under. And as you press down, you can press down through your feet kind of evenly, but pull back at the same time. They're not moving on the mat, but it feels like you're trying to draw your heels towards your bum. So when you do that, you feel the hamstrings kick in, the glutes kick in. Try to imagine that your glutes are actually part of your hamstrings. And then we'll release and round down bone by bone from the top, like you're going through cat to get down to the bottom. Let's stretch the legs out again and take a big full body stretch. And then I'm going to leave it to you for the next part. If you want, if you have a wall handy and you want to do legs up the wall, you could do that as part of your Shavasana. Some people like to do that as their Shavasana. Or if you prefer to do something more lying down, you can just have maybe a pillow under your knees or something, or a blanket over top of you if your room is cold. And find yourself in a comfortable position for your Shavasana. Make sure you're really comfortable. And when you're pretty satisfied, you've set yourself up perfectly, take a couple of deep breaths. And then let your last breath that you release be like more like a sigh or like a big release. And from there, let your breath breathe itself.
You can start to slowly think about moving again, deepening your breath when you're ready. And start to move organically, stretching your arms and wiggling. Maybe taking another final big sigh and a stretch, and then find your way up to seated when you're ready. Thank you all for coming and joining us in this experimentally electronic way. And really appreciate all the efforts you may have gone through to get connected with us today and all the support you've been giving us in this pretty tough time for everybody. So thank you all for practicing with us today.